The next level up of Minato, Uzumaki Boruto. As a descendant of the Uzumaki, he has truly surpassed his father and grandfather, Minato Namikaze. Mastering space-time ninjutsu in such a short time, he managed to create his own technique flawlessly. Finally, Aida and Kashin Koji have teamed up. I know this might not be that important, but Sumire openly confessed her feelings for Boruto right in front of Sarada. She ended up heartbroken and jealous after Sarada hugged Boruto in front of her eyes. And welcome to the full spoilers of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 16. But before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to support the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. The chapter starts with Aida as the cover in Chapter 16. And for this chapter, the first scene is a flashback between Boruto and Kashin Koji in the past. And this is precisely the incident after Kashin Koji, who saved Boruto from the pursuit of Tsunagakure Shinobi. The first thing Kashin Koji did to Boruto was to teach and explain a technique that we have come to know as time and space, a ninjutsu that is able to transfer or send all objects instantly to various predetermined locations. Kashin Koji also explained that ninjutsu is a basic part of the power possessed by all Otsutsuki, and Boruto has manifested this power several times in the past. And although Boruto has manifested that power, but according to Koji's, that power is actually only like a limited state that cannot be repeated intentionally. And in conclusion about this technique, thanks to Kashin Koji, a great power that was originally uncontrollable can finally be mastered through practice and technical innovation. A technique that allows free and instantaneous movement shows a remarkable development in the mastery of time and space ninjutsu. But based on what Kashin Koji saw, after 6 years from that moment, Boruto will fully master the technique perfectly. But knowing the fact that if in 2 years later, Boruto has mastered the technique perfectly, it means that Boruto is indeed a very genius ninja. And regarding the technique and how the jutsu works, Kashin Koji explained that the technique only requires a chakra that is assigned or inserted into a ninja tool. And by feeling the chakra in the ninja tool, Boruto can instantly move anything, including himself, anywhere freely and unlimitedly, and make this technique a stable and controlled form of ninjutsu. And to be more precise, that jutsu is the Hiraishi no Ju jutsu that we already know, if the jutsu that has helped Boruto go to the location of the 10 tails, and also as a jutsu that can save Sarada and Himawari at the right time. Even with that technique, Kashin Koji as a sensei mentioned that the technique had something to do with Minato Namikaze as Boruto's grandfather. And actually, Boruto's technique is not a direct replication of the jutsu mastered by Minato Namikaze, but a new variant that Boruto created in his own way. In addition, Kashin Koji mentioned that Boruto actually did not know the original Hiraishi no Jutsu technique. However, in his quest to master space-time ninjutsu, Boruto independently created a new technique that almost achieved the same results in creating a new variant of the Hiraishi no Jutsu technique. And because of Kashin Koji's ability to know the technique perfectly, he praised Boruto's achievement as something extraordinary. Even he also referred to it as creating a new technique. It was something that only genius ninjas did. And from everything that Kashin Koji said to Boruto, he became depressed with all his achievements, including creating something extraordinary. And behind feeling depressed at the praise, it might also be because he hasn't fully understood or accepted the great responsibility that comes with his potential as a talented ninja. And in conclusion, it depicts how Boruto begins to forge his own identity as a ninja, detached from the large shadows of his grandfather and father. However, the pressure of these great expectations also begins to be felt by Boruto, reflecting the struggles of an heir trying to find his own path. The next level up from Namikaze Minato. By the way, if Kurama once told Naruto that he has become stronger and surpassed his father, has Boruto now, as the son of Naruto, also surpassed his father and grandfather as a genius ninja? Damn, this is so cool. And speaking of that technique, we see Boruto practicing to master and make the technique more perfect by trying some ninja tools as a medium for teleportation. Kashin Koji also explained that the most suitable objects to provide chakra are ninja tools such as shuriken, kunai, and so on. With various trials and failures, this will be the optimal solution that Boruto will master. And even Boruto asked about the sword he had. Is it also part of the ninja tool that is useful for teleporting? Perhaps because Sasuke had done the same thing with the sword, Kashin Koji said that all ninja tools can be used as a medium for teleportation. And when it is reached by our vision, then teleportation will be easier and more accurate. And hearing about Kashin Koji's explanation stating that it's easy if it's within eyesight, Boruto wonders, what if it's not within eyesight? And as an answer, Kashin Koji explained it simply. For example, we assume that the shuriken has been given chakra as a medium that will be used to teleport. But if Boruto could sense the chakra, he would still be able to teleport. But in this case, whether it is in the north or south position, Boruto will not know which shuriken he will teleport to. Maybe if the medium was only one, it wouldn't be a problem. But if it was more than one, then Boruto could not determine exactly where he would teleport to. And in conclusion, this technique cannot be utilized optimally. This shows that Boruto still has limitations in understanding or fully mastering this technique. And if I may conclude again based on my analysis, the solution to this problem lies in Koji's toad carrying some of Boruto's accessories. And if you look at this scene, before Boruto teleports, he always confirms first to Koji through his toad by mentioning the object the toad is carrying, whether it's a square, box, or something else. And from every location where Boruto will teleport, he always confirms in advance the shape of the accessories carried by the toad. Even though the media is scattered in various locations, Boruto will easily determine where the location of Boruto will teleport with the help of Kashin Koji toad that carries Boruto's accessories. So, have you understood this simple explanation? And from this analysis, it is evident from Koji's words to Boruto that he thought of various forms to define as objects with variations that are used as media or symbols that allow Boruto to teleport to the expected coordinate point even though it is far away. But guys, the farther away the location is, Kashin Koji stated that it requires quite a lot of concentration. And once again, the farther away the object is, the harder it will be to reach it. And to master that, it takes very serious training. And while Boruto practiced mastering the technique, Kashin Koji advised Boruto to keep practicing extra. And although in the end, Boruto was able to master the technique in a short time, knowledge is still knowledge that must always be practiced. And after the scene where Boruto trains with Koji, we see a continuation of the flashback in chapter 13 when Koji summons Boruto. Because at that time they were still talking about destiny. Boruto asked Koji why destiny and the bad future that could be seen were not just told directly to the person, because according to Boruto, it would be much better. But in fact, Koji rejected it because it would destabilize the future path. The more people who know about the future, the more branching and complex destiny will become. And of course, this will become very difficult to control and predict. Yeah, I think Kashin Koji's words make a lot of sense. And in the end, Kashin Koji said that Boruto is like him, as a singularity. And what this means, singularity is as an entity or individual who deviates from the path of destiny, rail, and has the ability to change or disrupt the future. These singularities are unique and can be a key element in creating great change. Kashin Koji and Boruto, as the singularity, they are both not only tasked with understanding the future, but also to help create a better future. They do so by working behind the scenes and allowing the world to keep moving forward without being distracted by excessive knowledge of what will happen. And the important thing they have to do is create a better future through action. As a singularity too, Boruto has a unique responsibility to steer destiny in a better direction, and not by leading overtly, but by working invisibly to create positive change. And that's the conclusion with simple sentences so that you can all understand the meaning of Kashin Koji's words and explanations. And even as someone who has the ability to see the future, Kashin Koji at that moment also blatantly mentioned Aida's name. If sooner or later, Aida would see the information and know clearly what Kashin Koji said. And sure enough, guys, Aida, who is currently with Sarada and Sumire, she has seen and clearly knows about Kashin Koji and Boruto from the beginning, and also the abilities they have. And seeing Aida's gesture, Sarada confirmed to Aida what she had found. Then Aida explained that if during the interrogation Boruto did not explain in detail about what he knew, there was a reason why Boruto did not say everything clearly. But regarding this matter, Sarada looks so anxious and worried about Boruto for bearing all the burden alone. And as a person who knows the truth and is not affected by Aida's omnipotent ability, Sarada intends to help Boruto, because basically the enemy of Konoha and Boruto is the same, which is Shinju. But hearing that, Sumire stated that this would be difficult to accept. Literally, they were happy to help Boruto, But the fact is, they don't have much information about him, because once again, Boruto has other reasons why he doesn't want to say everything in detail. And in this moment, Sarada and Sumire are seen arguing with each other about caring for Boruto. They really want to help Boruto, but at the same time, they just don't have what it takes to do it. Until the moment when Sumire asks Sarada how about thinking a little about Boruto's feelings, and hearing Sumire's question, the situation became awkward. Sumire openly said that she liked Boruto. Even regarding the matter of her feelings for Boruto, Sumire knew that Sarada knew about it. But why did Sarada instead say that she liked Boruto and hugged him? And that was exactly when Boruto came to Konoha to tell the truth about Sasuke becoming a tree. And apparently seeing Sarada openly hugging Boruto made Sumire jealous. Even in that moment, Sumire intended to understand and comprehend Sarada's situation as to why she would do such a thing in front of her eyes. To conclude, Sumire asked Sarada, "What about me? You didn't even consider how I would feel if I saw you hugging and saying that to Boruto in front of my eyes." By the way, does this back sound already represent what Sumire feels, guys? I feel you, Sumire. And it wasn't just us guys who felt this awkward situation. Even Aida, who heard Sumire's question, she felt that this situation became awkward and as if the air was suffocating. And perhaps because she felt hurt and her chest was so tight from Sarada's attitude of not giving a second thought to Sumire's feelings, she left them and apologized for bringing up the subject at such an inopportune time. And seeing Sumire running away from them, Sarada tried to hold her back by saying, "Wait for the class leader." But at the mention of Sumire as class leader, Sumire sounded displeased at being called that and said that how long would she be called class leader? And in the end, when the situation became awkward, suddenly Shikamaru's voice was heard and he asked Aida if she had time because there was something that needed to be discussed with her. However, before that, there was a brief conversation between the daimyo and the elders of Konoha. After Boruto's escape from the interrogation room, the daimyo waited for Shikamaru to contact them for a full explanation and solution to the problem caused by Boruto's escape. The daimyo also ordered them to immediately capture and kill Boruto. Even if Konoha could not solve this problem, the daimyo threatened to kill the person responsible for the problems caused by Boruto's escape from Konoha. And the person the daimyo was referring to was Shikamaru. But despite the daimyo's threats, the Konoha elder tried to get the daimyo to calm down and make a wise decision. The Konoha elder even stated that what they would do would be the same as the daimyo. Damn, this old fart is so arrogant. I don't know. They're all just babbling and making us sick without thinking about the impact Konoha would have if Boruto didn't exist. They completely disregarded what had happened to the Konoha. They even turned a blind eye to Boruto's rescue and protection of Konoha after the threat made by Shinju. Type an angry emote if you are upset with the Konoha elders and also this useless daimyo guys. And next, we see Shikamaru, who has now approached Aida. Shikamaru's first question was to inquire about the state of Sunagakure village. Excitedly, Aida mentioned that a Shinju named Ryu had been born, a ninja who came from the village of Suna and whose target was the Kazekage Gaara. At that time, Aida said that Gaara was still safe inside the Shinki seal. But even so, Ryu will easily free him. And regarding that, Shikamaru said that Ryu must be defeated, because if not, then the Gaara would be in danger. And regarding that matter, Shikamaru immediately sent some Konoha shinobi to be assigned to the Sunagakure village as soon as possible. But regarding that matter, Aida gave some recorded information that she had previously seen to Shikamaru. We know that Kashin Koji is able to know if Aida can see him. That's why at this moment Kashin Koji mentions the matter of Aida knowing any information said by Kashin Koji. But behind all of that, Mamushi as a Shinju entity can see everything Aida sees when she uses her Senrigan. So this will actually be a big problem in the future if Mamushi also knows clearly what Aida saw. And in conclusion, they were able to peek at Aida when she used her eyes. And that was probably the reason why Aida had been avoiding observing them lately. But regarding that matter, Shikamaru didn't really want to force herself. But certainly, Shikamaru wanted Aida to provide whatever information she could get, because after all, the information said by Aida would be very helpful. And regarding the matter of Boruto's escape from the interrogation room, Aida mentioned that it was Shikamaru's doing. Even Aida knew that Boruto's escape was his plan with Mitsuki. But hearing that, Shikamaru seemed to be evasive and pretended as if it was not his plan. But as someone who could see everything so clearly, Aida told Shikamaru not to act stupid, because truth be told, Aida had figured it out. But even so, Aida told Shikamaru not to worry too much. Because of Boruto's escape, Aida promised that she would not tell the people in Konoha that Boruto's escape was his doing. But on the other hand, Aida also admitted that she currently feels uncomfortable and guilty because she has made Boruto suffer. Because in essence, Aida didn't want to make things difficult for Boruto. And regarding the matter of Boruto, Aida also told Shikamaru that Kawaki had agreed to cooperate with Boruto. And if Shikamaru plans to do something about the Shinju, Aida advises him not to interfere with Boruto and Kawaki's plans. Shikamaru also mentioned the Boruto ally who had been helping him, because previously that person had spoken to Shikamaru as a toad. And the toad is no stranger to Shikamaru. Even Shikamaru knew if it was Kashin Koji. And so Shikamaru confirmed to Aida whether it was really Kashin Koji. And hearing Shikamaru's question about the frog, Aida just kept quiet and didn't give any response. But as it turned out, there was something unexpected behind Aida's hair. Yep, the frog came out and said something to Shikamaru. And it was Kashin Koji. Through his frog, he said that Shikamaru was quite intelligent. Then Kashin Koji, through his frog, emphasized to Shikamaru if he only wanted to provide important information. And that means he doesn't want any questions asked by him. Even you know what, guys? The person who is currently under threat of Shinju, Kashin Koji, ordered Shikamaru without asking the reason to send Konohamaru, Mitsuki, and Sarada to leave Sunagakure village. But hearing Kashin Koji's orders, Shikamaru seemed hesitant and wanted a detailed explanation first before going along with what Kashin Koji said. But unfortunately, he refused and told Shikamaru to do it without asking any questions. Kashin Koji stressed once again that he just wanted to share some important information, no questions asked. In addition, Kashin Koji also ordered Shikamaru not to send Himawari and keep her in Konoha. Because as a person targeted by the Jura, of course it would be a very right decision if Himawari stayed in Konoha. Because once again, if Himawari left Konoha village, it would attract the attention of Jura. And if that is allowed, then Himawari will die. I totally agree about Himawari. I'm sure Koji already knows clearly about Himawari's identity. Although Himawari remains a threat even though she is in Konoha, at least it would be better if Himawari stays in Konoha. Because of course, Kashin Koji also has an important role in guarding Himawari, in addition to helping Boruto in carrying out his mission. Even Kashin Koji also mentioned about Jura, who really respects Konoha's tradition and culture about fighting. Because fighting in the village, it would be a contradiction that he should not do. And in conclusion, then whatever happens for the time being, don't let Himawari leave Konoha. There was even something that might have sounded like a joke. Koji said that if Jura went to the bookstore in the village, then serve him as a regular customer. But even though this sounded like a joke and didn't make sense to Shikamaru, Koji said that he was very serious. Because the most important thing now was not to provoke Jura. Because if he gets angry and serious, Koji believes that victory is impossible. But so far I am very impressed with this villain. Jura is truly a level-headed leader and does everything with full consideration. Even though his opponent is an Inoshikacho, he always considers and gives them a chance about whatever decision they will make. Koji also said not to let monsters like Jura interfere in this matter, because for now the most important thing is to kill his allies first, and if Jura appeared, then all they had to do was leave as soon as possible. And that was the advice given to Koji for the team that was going to go to Suna village. I think this makes perfect sense. Jura prioritizes his allies over his own desires and ego. If one of them is destroyed, then Jura will prioritize the safety of his allies over doing the opposite. He really is a very wise leader. And regarding the matter of Shikamaru helping Boruto escape, Kashin Koji is very grateful to Shikamaru for what he did. Even without considering the Konoha officials and others, Koji was so appreciative of Shikamaru's decision. And in the end, the frog left and Shikamaru took a cigarette to smoke. But on the other hand, Sumire was so silent, and as if her face was saddened by everything that had happened. But we forget a little about the romance between Sarada, Sumire, and Boruto guys. And finally, Konohamaru, Sarada, and Mitsuki are currently in Suna village. And maybe for the first time I saw Mitsuki using a headband, guys. And at the same time, Araya and Yodo were on the rock, where they were standing. And then they are currently on top of a high cliff while monitoring the location around the place. And moments later, we see Ryu and Matsuri in Suna village looking at a dead frog. And looking at the frog, Matsuri and Ryu assume that it has something to do with Boruto. And in this final section, we get an important piece of information from the narrator. Shinobi Konoha and Suna will face two Shinju with unexpected power. And that's the final part of the full leak of Boruto Chapter 16. By the way, I tried to explain to you with a few simple sentences from the translated text, but you don't have to worry. Once the official chapter is released, I will update as soon as possible. So that's the complete leak of Chapter 16. Don't forget to like and subs as support. I'm Nim, see you in the official episode. Bye bye, Dadabayo.